Then one day I'm in my office in Woodland Hills. Yeah, who is this? Yeah, you owe tax assessor. We're here. You owe us $85,000. So for what? You're in the district. You have to pay. You're grown. Your business has grown. This is how much money you owe. I said, what are you talking about? I call my accountant who's downstairs under our floor, 8th floor. I say, hey, what is this all about? He says, well, if they caught you and they're coming around, they knock on doors that are grown, it's hit and miss. If they don't come to you, you don't have to pay it.
Wow.
But if they come to you and they know you're a grown business, they can tax you.
LA.
You're in this district. I said, are you serious? So we have to pay this check. Then I said, what districts don't they have this?
Do you consider yourself political? Because we're crossing paths now a lot, and the type of people that are watching us are very similar in the political sense of things. But I can never tell if you really are political. Like I saw you at the GOP debate. That's a pretty political thing. I go on your show. We talk about politics. You didn't do the DeSantis thing yet, right? It was scheduled, but then the hurricane,
2 or 3 times.
The hurricane hit also because he was going to you, and then he was coming to me that afternoon.
Right.
And then the hurricane hit. But obviously you're political in the things that you talk about. But do you consider yourself a political person?
What does a political person mean? How
that you really that? You really like the game of politics. That
I
you
do.
Really like the. You're passionate about the issues. Like you really think about all of the issues. And
I do. My parents got a divorce. So I watch these guys get 2 divorces and remarry each other twice, right? And
what?
My parents got married.
Married and divorced
twice? They got married. My sister's born. They get a divorce. 2 years later, they remarry. I'm born. Then they get a divorce again. That's my.
And that was it, though. They didn't get back together after that.
They can't. If they're in the same room, they're going to resurrect the guy.
On that one.
Yeah.
Where are your movie people?
But my mother's side, a lot of them were communists, and my dad's side, a lot of them were imperialists. These guys loved the Shah. They hated the Shah. These guys, loved capitalism. They hated capitalism. They loved Karl Marx. That was their Bible. Stalin, he was a great leader for Russia, USSR. All these rich, greedy people in America, all they care about is money. We care about family. Why would you work that hard? You should come home at 3 o'clock and have watermelon and cheese and cut it up and sit down and have a conversation together. Who cares about the car you drive? Who cares about this, that? And I watched this. So for me, I didn't like politics because I saw the fact that the 2 people I loved the most got a divorce because of politics. But then
that was really it. It was
brother,
deep down
it was
political.
Oh my God! I mean, one of them, their philosophy was, rich people are greedy and all they care about is money, and the other one was poor people are lazy.
Like you just can't get over that. It's
that was just ingrained. But at that time, it wasn't politics. It was more like, why'd you guys get married in the first place? And thank God you did. But why'd you get married in the first place? What was the whole purpose behind it? So then I go to Germany, and then we come to the States. And when I come to the States, I go to the Army, and then that was the first time where military, stuff was going on, President Bush and Clinton and all this kind of stuff was going on. And I'm like, interesting what's going on here. Then I went into financial services and started competing, and then I realized politics is involved in insurance, Department of Insurance. Politics is involved in being a cop, being a firefighter, running a business, regulation, financial industry, SEC, NASD. It's involved everywhere. And then when we were a small insurance company, politics doesn't do anything for you or not. You're small. Nobody cares who you are. You're tiny. Then when we got bigger, and then all of a sudden we have a business that's national. We're appointed in 49 states. And we have offices all over the country, a few hundred offices. Then you notice there's a lot of politics involved. All the guys that were all nice to you, and now they're like, you can build anything you want. You can be as big as you want. And then they're like, oh, shit, he actually became as big as they wanted. Now it's like you took business away from us, and you're this and you're that. I'm like, oh, so there is politics. Then you go and you start studying. I had dinner with George Will in 2009, March, with Claremont Institute, and I go to this event and I watch what he's talking about with Larry Arnn and Larry Greenfield and all these guys, and I'm going to these events with the owner of Public Storage at Malibu, and I'm having these meetings with John Voight and Larry, Dennis Prager's coming. Then I launched a show in 2009 with KKLA, KRLA called Saving America. A year later, I shut it down because my San Francisco office closed down. They said, I cannot believe you started a show and, how dare you do this kind of. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on with politics? Then one day I'm in my office in Woodland Hills. Yeah, who is this? Yeah, you owe a tax assessor. We're here. You owe us $85,000. So for what? You're in the district, you have to pay, you're grown, your business has grown, this is how much money you owe. I said, what are you talking about? I call my accountant who's downstairs under, our floor, 8th floor. I say, hey, what is this all about? He says, well, if they catch you and they're coming around, they knock on doors that are grown, it's hit and miss. If they don't come to you, you don't have to pay it.
Wow.
But if they come to you and they know you're a grown business, they can tax you.
LA.
You're in this district. I said, are you serious? So we have to pay this check. Then I said, what districts don't they have this? 13 of them. Victorville, Santa Monica, Burbank, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, I'm going to go to Burbank, Glendale. So we move our headquarters to Burbank, Glendale, so I don't have to worry about this. And we're in Glendale at the New York Life building. And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, we're not staying here. Time magazine comes out with the article, United States of Texas. Then we go to Texas, we have a meeting with Governor Perry, with Mayor Masso from Frisco, was the fastest growing city in Texas.
Yeah.
Then we go to a Rangers game with Nolan Ryan and we watch how these guys are recruiting businesses to Texas. This is when Rick Perry would go to California, he would do radio shows. Say, if you don't like the business, they're taking care of you. We're gonna take care of you here in Texas. And we're like, okay, great. So then we moved to Texas, we fell in love with Texas. And then COVID happens. Politics goes to a whole different level. My content was always around business, mafia, interviews. It was not a political thing. Then all of a sudden, politics becomes relevant on what we're doing with COVID. And then I said, no.
So your politics were probably, you were kind of right leaning in that you were probably for small government, right?
Yes.
Less regulation, less taxes,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. Then COVID hits. And that's what basically drove us both here.
Yes.
I had a pretty freaking good life in LA.
Yep.
And then on whatever that day was, March 17th or whatever it was, 2 weeks to stop the spread, day 2, I was like, this place is never coming back. And I fought very hard. I campaigned with Larry Elder for the recall, and I don't know if I've told you this. You know that 3 days after the recall, you know what happened? You talk about getting a knock on your door from the tax man. I got audited by the state of California after I publicly was backing Larry Elder and campaigning.
Makes sense.
I put my house for sale that day. Like, that tells you all you need to know. So isn't that a weird thing about how your life better match up with your politics? Otherwise, you're in a lot of trouble.
See, I have a problem with that because for me, and what I mean by I have a problem with that is I have a problem with bullies. So here's what's going on today. Believe it or not, the majority will forgive people lying to them, the government lying to them. They'll get over it. They'll cry about it, but they'll get over it. The majority will even tolerate being taken advantage of. If you think about it, it's been going on in America. I can't believe you're doing it. You're not going to do nothing about it. You're going to go back to your state in California and not leave. And California is going to be, you ain't leaving anyways. Stop.
You will tweet about it angrily.
But you're not going to do nothing. There is no action. It's just, watch what I'm going to do. Watch. Oh, yeah, I'm going to punch you in the face. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then you get back in your car and you leave. Right? That's most people in California. But here's the problem. You cross the line with kids. Yeah, you just woke up an animal. Because a mother went through 40 weeks. So mother's most vested thing you're going to be in your life is carrying a human being for 40 weeks. You haven't gone through the pain. You want to groom my kids? I'm good, man. We're not going to do this. So all of a sudden, what the hell happened to this guy's, rage? I've never seen you be like this. What happened to all these mothers? What happened to all these parents? California, UK, Texas, New York, they're waking up. So here's the part. For most people, there's a saying that says, whatever you don't hate, you learn to tolerate. Most people just don't like it. But a few of us have a lower tolerance level for you crossing the line.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics instead of nonstop screaming, check out our politics playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist, all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.